Hello, everybody. This is episode number 449. Strong men bring good times. Good times make men weak. Men weak bring bad times, and then the cycle goes around and around and around. And I don't know if that's the exact statement, but you understand what it is. Like, hard times make men strong. Strong men make times good. Good times make men weak, right? And so when you have too much, you kind of degrade, a little bit. When you have too little, you have to muscle it up. Anyway, I was thinking about this in terms of the cycles of the world, right? Like, there's an old saying that if you don't know history, you're doomed to repeat it. But I actually think even if you do know history, you're doomed to repeat it. It seems like the world, no matter what, no matter how many warnings, no matter how many prophecies or biblical this or that or whatever else, we keep going through the same cycles in the world. And I think that we're at one of the inflection down points at this point in time, and we're going to go into a harder time in the future. And maybe I'm just talking, who knows? I could be wrong. I was trying to think about, why is life so cyclical? Why do we keep repeating the sins of the times of yore? And why can't we get out of this funk of self-destruction? I mean, last century in Europe, they had to burn themselves down 2 times, not just one. Two world wars. What's World War III going to look like? We may be on the edge of it. We don't know. But why is life like that? Why is it cyclical? Why is it, no matter what you do, eventually you have this great war? And I think I figured it out. And this has to do with something called the unsettled cow. Okay, and you got to think about this for a second. Does anybody have a milk cow? My family has a milk cow, and there's milk cow is a ruminant, 4-legged ruminant. That's a female that has a baby. That's a cow, and she makes milk for you. But eventually the milk dries up and the baby gets big, and then she becomes unsettled, which means she goes into heat. That's what an unsettled cow is. And a settled cow, one that's nursing or pregnant, is usually a happy cow. She behaves well. She's really nice. She likes to be milked. She's good with the kids. You get the point, right? Unsettled cow, not so much. She starts knocking fencing over when she's in heat. She gets a little bit persnickety. Sometimes she'll try to attack you when she shouldn't attack you before. And this is a problem because a cow's a big animal. It ranges between 900 and 1,500 pounds or something like that. And when they get a little persnickety, everybody knows about it. And so the key is you want to settle the cow, right? And so what do? Do you just lock the unsettled cow up? No, because she's still unsettled and she's still not going to be happy, right? So there's something wrong with the unsettled cow, and how you settle a cow is you breed her, right? It just calms her down and she becomes settled and she becomes very easy to deal with on the life of the farm. So here's the hard part for everybody to swallow, and you have to meditate about this for a while, because a cow is a mammal. She has hair, she's warm-blooded, and she makes milk. Women are mammals too, and they have hair and they're warm-blooded and they make milk. And is there an analogy, to an unsettled cow and an unsettled woman? And I think there probably is. And I'm not making fun of anybody right now, but this is really something to think about in terms of where our society is going and the human interactions that's going on right now, like the weirdness in the world today. There's something unsettled about it. And anyway, so the unsettled cow, what's the female equivalent? The woman equivalent of that is premenstrual syndrome. And I've actually discussed this many, many years ago in a video, I think. But I think, in terms of our biology, premenstrual syndrome is actually a signal to the woman telling her that, because she keeps ovulating, going through these cycles, that she's not pregnant. And if she's not pregnant, she has to do something to get out of the situation she's in, because it's obviously not settling her, right? It's obviously not curing the problem of not being pregnant. And so she will misbehave, she'll be angry, she'll cry, she'll weep, she'll be irrational and unpredictable. And I think probably in the terms of human behavior realms, this is supposed to scare or upset the man enough where he runs away. And if he runs away, then her world's turned over, and then she could go out and possibly find somebody that can possibly do the job of settling her. And so I know this is really hard and arcane to think about, but what is premenstrual syndrome? Why would it be that way? And it's literally, I think, the female equivalent of the unsettled cow. Everybody can admit that exists. Why would it be offensive to talk about premenstrual syndrome? It wouldn't. Well, anyway, so this year, so if a woman is unsettled, she's willing to tear down her local environment, her local habitat, to try to get rid of it so she can fix what's wrong with it, meaning that she's not being settled. She'll tear down fencing, she'll run down the street after a bull or whatever else, and she'll make life on the farm quite difficult. Well, something happened this year in the world, and I don't know if you know this, in Western civilization. There are actually more 30-year-old women, like 30 is the cutoff there, that don't have a baby than do have a baby. It's the first time it's ever happened. And so there's a large portion of our female population that don't have children at all, okay? And if you think about what the cow would do, if half the cows on a farm didn't have a baby or they were unsettled, they would wreak havoc on the farmer's life, and they'd start tearing down fencing and start destroying things and running away, right? And just trying to destroy the environment that they're in. And I think maybe that's what might be happening in terms of our country, in terms of Western civilization, that there's a large chunk of the female population that is not settled. They don't have their meaning in life, which is typically childbearing and becoming a mother. That's what they were designed to do. And if you don't have that meaning in life, you're going to be angry, and you won't know why you're angry, but you will try to tear down the environment around you, even if it's safe, to try to get out of this upsetting situation. And so that cycle of life I was talking about, it was like strong men bring good times make weak men weak men bring bad times. So think about this. So you get strong men, right? Somebody that can actually bring good times, that will draw the women to the men. It really will, right? Because women desire strong men, they just do. Alpha males or whatever else, And then that will make them more inclined to have babies, right? Well, then that will bring women with children, and family life makes it ordered. That brings good times. Well, what does good times bring? It brings weak men. And so men become weak, and therefore the women are not drawn to them as much. And so if on whole a bunch of women stop having babies and they stop reproducing with these men, they then become unsettled. And so if they're unsettled, then they will do the thing that the cows do, and they'll destroy their society around them, culturally speaking, to try to get the great reset in their lives. And that will bring hard times. That's the chaos of the world. And once the chaos reigns, and eventually some men step up and then correct the problem, that will make men strong, right? And then the cycle goes about itself. I actually think that little cycle of life, this is just a reproductive imperative of the female within society, and it's men that are supposed to cure that problem by marrying them and giving them family, but they don't. And the funny part is today, society tells women they don't even want children. Like, go serve a career, go serve an employer, don't serve your family, don't serve your husband. And this is making women miserable for the most part. And in fact, there's a study from Women's Day magazine. They've released the same study for the last umpteen years, 70 years, and they release it and they say, do you have enough? And yeah, I have enough. Are you happy? Yes, I'm happy with life. And this is back in the 50s, in the 50s when they started it. Do you want more for your daughters? Yes, I want more for my daughters, and so, but they keep asking that, and they're going along, and as the daughters get more and more and more, because women have been liberated since the 1950s for sure, the same study is, do you have enough? No, I don't have enough. Are you happy? No, I'm not happy. And do you want more for your daughters? Yes, I want more for my daughters. It's like getting the more didn't make them happy. Getting away from the family probably made them less happy. Something to think about. And so this mass chaos going in the world right now may actually be literally the breakdown of the family, that we have a bunch of unsettled women in a population, and they're creating the chaos, which eventually is going to lead to some kind of suffering on a mass scale. And then eventually, to cure this issue, strong men are going to have to step up and solve the problem. And those strong men will then become desirable mates for the female, and then perhaps we will get back to having family life again. And I could be wrong about that. It's just something to think about. I know this video probably ticks a lot of people off, but why does a society always repeat itself? And it is interesting to me, because if you actually have animals, or a milk cow per se, she's called the queen of the farm. She is the queen of all queens. She makes enough milk for all the family members. She makes enough milk for the hogs. She'll clean up the weeds and the grass, and like the whole farm revolves around her. But when she's not nursing or pregnant, she's angry and mad, and the farm becomes a heck of a place. And so, to me, it's a little bit too clear on human behavior, similar to like ruminant behavior in this regards. And when you have a large scale of the female population where you're not fulfilling her internal desire, that reproductive imperative, chaos will increase in society, and perhaps that is what's going on right now. And so perhaps to solve this problem, we just need to return to church life. Maybe we need to return to family life. Maybe we need to return to having large families and not just picking out 1 or 2 kids and saying that's enough, I'm done, I don't want to destroy the earth or whatever it is. Well, anyway, something to think about. Well, anyway, this is Catholic Dad, something to think about. Please like or subscribe, share with your friends, and get the Mass, pray the daily rosary, and God bless you all. Have a good day.